Action!
Marissa, Ethan, it's Ben O'Shea from The West Australian. Great to be talking to you about Wicked. We saw it last night. There was a standing ovation. The applause was incredible. What did it feel like for you both after the process of getting here?
What do you think?
I felt loved. I felt very loved and proud, not just of myself, but everybody that's been a part of this project, whether it's my fellow castmates or everybody behind the scenes that put so much work and effort and were just so dedicated and showed up every day. Yeah, I felt really proud.
Yeah, it was really emotional. It was like, I knew it would be, because I think, you know, when we saw the movie before, I was moved by the story. I was moved by everything that I was seeing, but then to be watching it with a theater full of people, I was really overcome.
Yeah, love, I think, is the word that comes to mind for me. It felt like there was a lot of love in the room.
Yeah.
And for you, Marissa, like this is your first feature, and what a way to make a debut. It doesn't really get much bigger in terms of the scale of the production. I can't even imagine what that experience was like, but could you describe what was going through your head before your first scene?
There was a lot, for sure. My mind is, she loves to run 1,000,000 miles per hour, but it felt like a dream then, and it still feels like a dream now, for sure. Small town, from a very small town in the Midwest to London. I had never been overseas before, so to do that was just absolutely incredible. And for obviously something as big and massive and so loved as Wicked, it just blows my mind still every day.
Yeah, I bet. And for you, Ethan, like I'm sure there was no shortage of pinch yourself moments, but was there one point on set where you just thought, whoa, I'm not in Kansas anymore?
I think one of the first days that we shot was in Dr. Dillerman's classroom. And I had this experience on most sets, but I do remember just walking in and immediately being blown away by how fully realized the world was. It was, you know, Shiz is its own thing. It's magical and it's mystical, and I immediately felt all of that, the detail and the people that were in there. So I think that moment I will never forget, because that was the first thing that we shot. I mean, not everyone, but us, I think.
Yeah, that was one of the first things I shot.
Yeah, that's the first pinch me. There were probably about 130,000 more, but that would be the first one.
Please, everyone take your seats. In today's Oz, a real sorcerer who possesses true magic has become all too rare.
Absolutely remarkable.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because to me, it was giving me sort of Hogwarts vibes, like after, 5 or 6 Harry Potter movies, but you were getting that like straight away with Shiz. It felt like this fully realized world that you were immersed in. Must be so cool as an actor. And your character, Marissa, Nessarose, like she's described in the film as tragically beautiful, but she's a lot more than just a tragic character. For you, what does it mean to be representing people with disability on such a grand stage in a movie like this? A lot of responsibility for your first film.
Oh yeah, tons of responsibility. But I think because where I'm at in my life and how much I've grown and just learned about so many other people with disabilities and learned about disabilities and the community, I think that put me in a good place and helped me feel ready to take that on. And obviously I love Wicked, so I want to hold the story close and play her as authentically as I can. And I mean, I feel like it's hard to miss playing it authentically, since I am authentically a disabled person. And so, yeah, it means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to the disabled community too, as I've received for so many people, so many disabled people to see themselves represented like that.
Yeah, I think it's such a special thing. And I want to talk to you about your co-stars. And for you, Ethan, your relationship with Nessarose has this kind of obsession with Glinda over the top of it. And so you're trying to figure out whether Bok is is he a good guy? Is he does things out of the goodness of his heart, but then there's also this other motivation? Tell me about that dynamic.
Yeah, I love Bok because he's really looking for his place in the world. He's looking for his community. And I think he's leading with good intentions. He's trying to be a good friend, and he's also head over heels in love with Glinda, and so he's trying to do right by her, and then he's trying to do right by Nessa, and their relationship evolves. So I do think that this is one of the things that I love about Bach is that he is well-intentioned and he's looking for his place, and he kind of keeps on making missteps. So the way that changes a person and the way that can change you for better or for worse, was something that I just really loved about him and relate to, and I was excited to tackle.
Yeah, and very relatable, his character arc as well, I think,
Yeah.
For a Munchkin, I think it's like I can relate to that perhaps more than, some of the witches and the magic that happens. You try your best, you don't always get it right.
Yeah.
And in terms of Nessa, her relationship with Elphaba, of course, is a part of the cornerstones of the film. Tell me about sharing those scenes with Cynthia.
Yeah, I that's one of the things I love most about the film or my relationships in the film is you really do get to see the bond between me and Cynthia a lot more, and you don't really get to see that in the stage musical as much, which I think it just humanizes, I think, both of them even more and makes them more complex. They're not just one thing. Obviously, they still have that little sisterly tension here and there in the way that, yes, Nessa does feel like Elphaba is a little bit overbearing here and there, but they do love each other, and they're sisters at the end of the day. And Cynthia is just an incredible talent and so incredible to work with, and just out of this world talented.
Yeah. Guys, we've run out of time. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
It's been a treat talking to you both, and congratulations on the movie. It really is very special.
Thank you so much.
And cut.